Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park for a Sunday edition of Today at the Races. I'm Dan Ullman along with Keith Fustel on this first day in June.
Yeah.
Really nice card yesterday at Laurel Park, even with the rain.
Yeah.
We saw a match race. Brittany and Toledo had three
Yes.
together, and we saw a really good performance in the feature race. Instant Coffee, first time for Jamie Ness, really digging it out in the stretch to run down a loose leader.
Yeah, that was a good effort and was not really on the best part of the racetrack for a long way. We saw yesterday, save for Saxton, who was able to kind of overcome that negative inside to go. Instant Coffee was down inside pretty much till about the quarter pole, worked outward and just kept on and sustained, was put to a drive pretty early, like leaving the 3/8 pole. That was a gritty effort. I thought had to have him might have been the best performance that I saw yesterday. A 90 buyer, reported first-time gelding. We were talking about here, we were looking forward to seeing him on the turf. If he brings that improvement from the dirt to the turf, watch out.
He'll be a quality sprinter, dirt or turf, coming off that race. Just seemed a lot more professional, a lot more relaxed. His lead changes were smooth. And you mentioned the fast race, a 90 buyer speed figure in the off-turf event. We've got 9 today. Main track is fast. We're off the turf. Last chance for the Charm City Pick 5. I believe entries closed today around 1:30 Eastern. Someone did hit the grand prize of $1,000 yesterday. All of their top picks swept through the late Pick 5. And if you do that, you get a grand or you share a grand if others do it as well. It's not easy, but this is a fun contest. CharmCityPick5.com. Register today by 1:30 Eastern. And again, it's good to get in. Cumulative scores at the end of the meet for all of your Pick 5s each racing day. The winner gets a huge grand prize.
You have to stay involved. That's the key with that one. You're going to give a little prize out for the cumulative. That's the total. Stay into this little play there. Good contest. Yeah, I think that's twice now, right? We've had somebody
Twice.
catch it. Wow. All right.
Weather conditions, really nice day here after the tornado 2 days ago, and then the lightning strikes yesterday. It's nice to see some sunshine in the air. The weather is clear. Our temperature is 63 degrees. Again, the main track is fast, and we are off the turf. Let's start things off with race number 1. We're going a mile and 1 mile on the dirt. This is an off-turf race. Let's take out the 1, the 4, the 6, the 8, the 10, the 12, and the 13. Weston Hamilton on the 11. That's Mr. Tap. Gene Briseno on the 14, Severn Run. This is the first leg of our early value Pick 5. We call it the value Pick 5 because of the low takeout. 12% takeout, best in the business, best bet in the business, in my opinion.
We need Mr. Nixon. Not Mojo Nixon, but Justin Nixon to get it done in the opener. Let's take a look at this ticket. It's a $24 play. I'm singling Little Sebastian to get us started. Justin got it done yesterday with passion. See if we can duplicate that and get it done today with Little Sebastian. Race 2. Not too deep in there with the 2 and the 3. Autumn and Vermont. I'm going to toss in the firster. Fabia for Hammy Smith, trying to get things going here. But nice family line for the 3 Fabia. Race 3 with the 1, 8, and 10. Laddie Dance, top selection in there. Race 4. You could hit the all button pretty much in here. This race gave me fits. I'm going to lean a little bit towards Formal Affair. Don't like, but I'll go 2, 5, 6, 7 in race number 4. Race 5, we're going to complete this thing with the 4 Dwelling Legacy and the 7 Green Eyed Monster for a $24 early value Pick 5. Again, 12% takeout. They pay, everybody. Jump in.
They pay, and I'm with you on the 9. Little Sebastian in the opener, especially now that it's off the turf. I mean, this horse ran on dirt 2 starts back. It was a cold, miserable day in December, and it was even colder and more miserable for us in the press box because we liked Little Sebastian that day, and he just had an unfortunate trip. It's hard to win going a 1-turn mile here at Laurel with the second wire finish when you lose ground on the backstretch through the turn, and Little Sebastian is 4 wide pretty much every step of the way. He was late to change leads, but once he did, he altered course inside the winner, and he kept on trying, and I know he can be a lot closer to the pace. We thought he was going to be closer to the pace that day. I think Torrealba has him up close here.
And looking at this field, he should be. I mean, maybe Mr. Mendelslew goes, Mojo, possibly Severn Run, but I just don't think they're going to get too far away from Little Sebastian. I like this horse a little bit last time, too, on the turf. Just didn't quite finish the last eighth of a mile. Made a mild run to mid-stretch, didn't quite sustain. I think, again, against all the hard ways, a 3-time winner, 2 races back, showed the grit, didn't have an easy trip, catches the right field here. Going to be a shorter price for Justin Nixon.
Mr. Mendelslew, another horse that can get forwardly placed. Now, this horse was very aggressively ridden as the favorite last time out and didn't get much of a breather. 24-2 for the opening quarter, 24 flat for the second quarter, and then he just tired in the stretch. That was a race where Tough Luck just ran off of the screen. Mr. Mendelslew fits very well at this class level. Non-winners are 2 life foes, especially with his tactical speed.
I think that's the key. Getting back to a condition claimer, going against some of the older rivals. I don't think that's going to pose too much of a problem. Just how do where do you take him? Do you go early? I think he can sit if necessary.
Mojoke is the number 5. This horse is getting back to dirt, and the last time he raced on the dirt, he was a very game winner, holding off 2 other horses, basically battling for the lead, put that horse away. A closer came a-coming in the stretch, and Mojoke still had enough to hold on. His last 2 turf tries, I think, are okay. We do have a video spotlight, I believe, for one of the turf races. Let's take a look at Mojoke at Pimlico.
Yeah, and this was in some, part of a pretty blistering pace.
46 flat.
Yeah, you see 46 flat to 10-4. Up with it, backed up again, made another move to threaten in mid-stretch, and just couldn't quite go on. And you really can't blame him there, but that was a tough ask with those internals. But he's improved since the blinkers have gone on for Robbie Bales. A win at 7/8 on the main track, 3 starts back, as we talked about. That extra furlong on the main shouldn't pose too much of a problem.
I think a 1-turn mile is going to hit him right in between the eyes, and that was a 1 1/8 race. And when horses at this class level throw down fractions like that at a 1 1/8, you're supposed to get tired in the stretch. I think Mojoke ran better than it looks on paper. I think he's just fine on dirt, and he's a very interesting threat. We'll see, though, if Little Sebastian can show a little bit more speed, second off the layoff, and if Justin Nixon can sweep the weekend's opening off-turf races. 9-3-5-14 for Keith, 9-14-5-2 for me in today's opening race. Let's move on to race number 2. We're going a 1-turn mile. It's a maiden claiming event, 16 down to 12.5. Maryland breds are eligible for the $20,000 claiming price. Riders switch on the number 1, Sevens Magic. Yomar Ortiz takes the call. Let's start things off with a video spotlight on your top selection in here. The number 2, Autumn in Vermont, after I discuss our 50-cent pick 4. It is our first of 3 on the afternoon. And again, as I've say every day, it seems like they've been paying very well recently. And if you can cobble a price or 2 together, the payouts could be really nice. Here's Autumn in Vermont's, I believe, last race, May the 3rd.
This was a good effort, and we've seen this horse improve since the barn changed. 3 races back, was on a little bit of a break from December to February, but this particular race works a pretty good trip. Was inside early, angles out around the 3/8 pole, and makes a good sustain. I thought a 4-wide run here into the stretch. Dead game Tekka just a little bit too good. Involved in this race is Another Hope as well, down to the inside. Now we have marked on this on our little bias sheet, on our website, our track trends and everything. A little bit of a closer's day. We have this, so I think maybe Another Hope might last a little bit more here. But I like the improvement for Autumn in Vermont for the Mancia barn.
No, I agree with you. Look at the try in the stretch, and Tekka was just favored this day, and you're right, got the jump on Autumn in Vermont. Autumn in Vermont has been very, very consistent since moving up to this circuit, switching to the Mancia barn, is at the board in all 3 lifetime starts, and I think can adapt a little bit more to the pace. I know this horse hasn't showed a lot of early speed, but I think in this short field, the pace isn't going to be blazing, and I think Cruz will have Autumn in Vermont in prime position. To me, he's the horse to beat. You mentioned Fabia in your early pick 5, and she's the stranger in here, first-time starter for Hammy Smith, going a 1-turn mile. When you look at this pedigree, it's all distance, so I think the mile's going to be just fine. I like the fact that she's got 3 5/8 of a mile breezes to leg her up for this 1-mile test. Not a ton of black type underneath in the pedigree. It's just a race where I'm not thrilled with any of the horses that have run, so I'm going to take a shot with Hammy, who's way overdue.
She got her bottom down at Ellery, a heavier surface down there at the Ellery Training Center. Gory Smith, Hammy's brother, and Gray gets them ready to roll down there, and they come up, and the stamina is built up from their base down there in South Carolina. A couple, 5/8 works coming in here. Nothing super fast. I'm not really worried about that. A full to walk away, Joe Hayton Blue. A couple
I think
of these
4
horses,
6 figure earners. I
yeah,
think. Yeah.
and two of the five runners I think hit the board in debut. Again, not super thrilled. I think Seven's Magic could get involved from the inside, maybe working out a little bit of a duel, maybe to develop between that one and Another Hope. Yeah, Autumn of Vermont. Yeah, proven finisher in here, but why not Fabia? A little flyer.
Yeah, Seven's Magic was wired the last time she raced on dirt 2 starts back. And breaking from the rail, I think that Yomar is going to be very, very aggressive with Seven's Magic. She and Another Hope could provide the pace.
Yeah.
And here you're right about Another Hope. She made the first move last time out in a race where the second and the third moves were the best. Another Hope, I still think needs to prove herself at the 1-turn mile. It might be a little bit far for her, although her pedigree says otherwise.
You're exactly right. Wicked Melissa, the blinkers come back off last time out. No good whatsoever. I chased that one that day. Could have been a mud aberration figure 2 races back. Really hard to gauge what you're going to get from Wicked Melissa. I like the 2 Autumn of Vermont. Fabia, I'll take either one. I'll take the 3 because I know that's going to be a little bit better price.
Same super different order. Keith's going 2, 4, 3, and 1. I'm going to go with the Stranger. Fabia 3, 2, 4, and 1 in race number 2. Let's move on to race number 3. We're off the turf. It's 5.5 furlongs. It's one of those starter optional claiming events. Take out the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 13. Jean Briseno on the number 2, Competitive Saint. This is the first leg of our middle pick 4. 50 cent, of course, is the minimum wager on our pick 4 wagers. Race number 3. Let's start things off well with the number 1, Laddie Dance. And I think the connections are doing a little bit of a dance, that this race is off of the turf, even though he's fine on the turf. I think he's better on the main track. He was in against a red-hot horse last time out at Pimlico, and he was wide chasing on the turn, and he could understandably tired over a wet track. The fact that they're getting a fast off-dirt race, I think works for him very well.
Yeah, I like this setup for Laddie Dance. I think he can move up a little bit figure-wise. I don't think he has to move up much to beat this field. A little bit of speed to the outside. I think he's got to be close with the X-Man. I just say that outside trip last time out on a speed kind of a day, just kind of futile chase around the turn and a fade. Tucked up, inside out works for me for Laddie Dance. Yeah, you go back the last time this horse ran 5.5 over this main track. Really good effort, beating the likes of SS Sinatra. He's going on to bigger and better
We'll talk
things.
about him later on today. Mean Jakey's in this race, first off the Phil Cap claim. This horse earned a big figure 2 starts back, going 5.5 on the dirt at Oaklawn Park. While he was the beaten favorite that day, he got wired and really never stopped trying. I thought it was a really likable performance. He shows up at Pimlico, and he just stumbled at the break. He recovered fairly quickly, but I wonder if that just took all of the starch out of him because he had to then keep up with a solid second quarter. Just nothing seemed to go right for him in that race. I want to give him a mulligan.
Never seemed comfortable after he stumbled. He brushed with a horse in there as well and just couldn't kind of go from there. That was it, dead flat. He's a horse that's going to show speed with a clean break. I think he can stalk if needed. He's a user for me, as is the 10. Island Delight has come back in pretty good form. 2 turf races under his belt off the break. But you go back, he's okay on the dirt. He's run some big races. You go further back, you see him beating. He's in front of Pit Stop Man, who won yesterday with a 70 buyer figure. He's another one that's tactical against this group. I think the 11 Retain's going to go 5, 6 champ. What are your thoughts on this one?
Just want to throw in Competitive Saint real quick.
Okay.
This is a horse that has won on dirt in the past, been competing down at Gulfstream Park on the synth. The last time this horse ran on the dirt was 5-2 down there against open claimers. Didn't run very well, but also didn't yet get away to a good start. I just think this horse needs a little bit of pace help, but early in his career was running in New York on dirt against second 11 allowance horses like Mr. Phil and Repo Rocks. So I think Competitive Saint against these kind of horses could fit at a gigantic price. 1, 8, 10, and 2 for Keith. 1, 8, 2, and 12 for me. We'll be doing the Laddie Dance up in the press box if he gets it done in race number 3. Race number 4, 1-turn mile. It's a condition claiming event. 10,000 down to 8 is the claiming price. It's for 3 and up, which have never won 3 races, or straight 3-year-olds. This is the first leg of our 20-cent Chesapeake Pick 6 jackpot wager. Pick the first place finisher in each of the final 6 races on any Laurel Park program. And if you're the only one, there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a carryover, I think, and maybe we might show that a little bit later. But yeah, pick 6 time, Chesapeake Pick 6. Really, really tough race to get you started.
Talk me on to Formal Affair.
Yeah, and again, working around a horse, I think it's going to be an okay price. This horse jumped up, ran big last time out on the stretch out, caught 4 wide pretty much every step of the way, and kept on quite willingly. I think he's got the right kind of speed. Maybe Mascari, who was in there in that race, is going to go ahead and go, but just like the improvement and the way this track played yesterday, if we can get it to play somewhat similar, yeah, Formula Affair is going to be around, and I think the grittiness he showed last time, he can stay.
I admit nothing's where I'm going to go, the number 5. Now, this horse was entered and scratched at Pimlico on May the 10th. It's taken him some time to get back into the entries. I just really liked his last race here at Laurel Park, going 1 mile and a 16th. The horse that he was pressing in the early stages of that race was a 7-1 shot that plummeted all the way back to last. He made the lead in between horses on the turn, and he was so game to finish second inside the odds-on winner, who was a late kicker and benefited from the duel that had been nothing was involved in. I don't think he needs to be on the lead to win. If they give it to him, he'll take it. But I think he'll at least be in the thick of things, turning for home under Yeds at Hazelwood.
I think he's going to be up close. I would maybe like to see just stalking if Mascari and Formula Affair get involved early. The one might go ahead and send with Jan Rodriguez, but you talk about that last race. It was really good. Came up good on some other handicapping tools I use in Forest City. The winner came back to run big off the claim against Open Company, if I am not mistaken. I believe it was a starter company that Forest City went in.
Mascari was the beaten favorite in his last 2 races, but you can always depend on this horse to be close to the pace. The key really to this race, you're right, is the one, Estilo Magico. This is a horse that just couldn't get up close to the pace last time out at Tampa Bay Downs, was in against a pretty good group. I think the 3rd place finisher came back, won at Monmouth with a 69 Beyer speed figure. I think that horse is going with a 7-pound bug aboard, and I think Mascari might be sitting in a nice position in second.
Agreed. I like that. Second time out, 3rd time I should say, off the claim for Ferry. I did like that horse last time. Got down a little bit more than what I would have wished. Couldn't get it done, but what a hard man for dead. This is a guy, man, will love this track if it plays like it did yesterday. A drop in class, which I think he needs. Chase some pretty good horses in Aero Speed and run and score deadpan 2 races back. Yeah, he's got that kind of prolonged run that could very well work against this group.
And there's a chance if the 1 and the 2 and the 3 provide some pace, it works for What a Hard Man for Dead. He's probably the best pure one-run closer in this race, and you're absolutely right about the class drop. 2 starts back, you mentioned Aero Speed. A 5-time winner that came back and earned a 91 Beyer speed figure running second at Parks. He's now dropping in against non-winners of 3 Life, so it's a big double drop. I like the little turf-to-dirt whammy move for him. He's going to be running hard in the lane under J-Rod.
It's just a race, Dan. Race 4. I just can't pinpoint one horse. I had the spread in the pick 5. Yes Point, I could make a case for. This horse been very popular at the claim box coming in for Aaron McClellan. So,
Trainer stat for Aaron McClellan, as a matter of fact. First off the claim, 5 for the last 20, 25%, $2.84 ROI, freshened off the claim, comes back with 2 bullet workouts down at the Penn National base. This horse seems to have a versatile running style. Can stalk, can come from way out of it, so you have to respect this barn off of the claim. It'll be interesting to see what we get from Yes Point at what should be a decent price. Last time out at Parks, they kind of ran 1, 2, 3 around the track. They went 48 and 4. It's just tough to make out up ground. I think it gets a better race flow here.
First time over this Laurel surface, so a little unknown over the track, but we've seen time and time again the Parks horse. It's been played a little bit heavier, kind of might enjoy a little bit more bounce that you're going to get out of this Laurel surface.
He's looking for a little bit of a price. The 6 Formal Affair, 6257. I'm a big fan of Admit Nothing. I think he can stalk and pounce. 5, 7, 4, and 6. 4 down, 5 to go. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back after this message. Welcome back to Today at the Races. I'm Dan. He's Keith. 4 down, 5 to go, which means, as we take a look at the field for race number 5, we're kicking off the late pick 5. 6 furlongs, 40,000 down to 32 beaten claimers. These are fillies and mares, 3 and up, which have never won 3 or 3-year-old fillies. Take out the 3 Society Ball, the 6 Kilo Road. We saw them yesterday throw it down.
Match race in the last, and
bigger price
Kilo
wins.
Was trying, just couldn't quite get there. Right, Society Ball got the jump and it was over. But 12% value pick 5 time. Mackenzie Pfeiffer with a ticket.
Mackenzie's going 4 deep in the first leg. Blessed Candy, the 2. Dwelling Legacy, the 4. Then the Green-Eyed Monster and Dine and Dash. Race 6, she's going to go 3 deep. Cynthia Gale, Arise My Love, Golden Sword. These horses really benefit, I think, in the fact that this race has been taken off of the turf. Here's the single. Race number 7. The Bouncer's going to try to turn the tables on SS Sinatra. A little gutsy single, I think.
These two could be involved in a little bit of a match race from the get-go. Bump and Run can stay close, but man, these two are sharp right now.
6-8, Tuned to the Moon, and In My Memories, the 2 morning line favorites in the Feach. And in race number 9, the 3, the 7, and the 10. It's a $36 ticket, 50-cent minimum wager on our 12% take-out. Low. What a great bet. The late value. Pick 5. Race number 5, we're going to start things off with your top selection in here, Dwelling Legacy. Dwelling Legacy's speed almost automatically makes this filly a contender. I wish she changed leads.
I'm going to hope that maybe we can get it done on the left fleet today. Yeah, you're talking about taking out the Society Ball part of the flow. Kilo Road, again, was probably going to come from a little bit further off the pace. But you break things down, and when you first look at this race, you're like, there are some horses just want to be for it. Maybe Dwelling Legacy is just the quickest.
I think so.
Maybe she can finally shake clear. She's been involved in 22 and change, 46 and change, head and head, just a little bit of a fade. 4th time for Gary Capp. If we break clean and clear, I think we might be gone.
I guess Dine and Dash could be one of the horses that could go after her early because she has shown some speed. And I think she's also helped by the scratches in here. We have a video spotlight to show on Dine and Dash. She's coming into this race seeking her 3rd consecutive victory. Dine and Dash looked good last time out at Pimlico. I thought that this horse was up close to a moderate pace.
Moderate pace. They weren't going too quick, but what I really liked is the way that she relaxed. Thais Laia Pistina did a phenomenal job rating because gets surrounded here around the turn, 3/8 to about 5/16, and just as I might have put in the comment the longer, like unfazed. It didn't really bother her. She was very comfortable. She was able to kind of battle out and hold tenaciously to the wire. Thunder in Paris came back to bury a field with that loop and swoop 5-6 wide move, but moving up here now. Rodolfo Sanchez Salaman, vacation. Jonathan Maldonado takes over. But the one thing we had seen prior, Sanchez Salaman horses off of the jump. When they kept jumping up recently, they've been winning. We'll see if this one holds form.
Very game performance. I think she sits second. I think she gets the jump on the speed Dwelling Legacy. And if Dwelling Legacy gets tired on that left lead, Dine and Dash has a chance. As well as I think is my top pick. Feeling So Lucky. Now she's going to come down from morning line odds after the scratches. And she's a horse that does have a lot of seconds and thirds on her page. But I thought last time out she ran okay. The 3 favorites were just better than she was. Kilo Road and Dwelling Legacy being 2 of them. But I think this time around, if the 8 puts the pressure on the 2, she could be sitting in the catbird seat.
She got back to one of her, an improved number. Granted, off the duel was my short comment. I give you that to paint a picture of what was going on in front of her. She had every right to be a little bit closer, I thought. Maybe she's heading back in the right direction, though.
Green-Eyed Monster could very well be the horse to beat. Dwelling Legacy could be the horse to catch because Green-Eyed Monster is taking a big drop in class in against Great Andre, a horse that's earned some black type. That's her stablemate at Pimlico last time out, and that trip just didn't work out for her.
Yeah, her and Blessed Candy, the 2 3-time winners in this group. Yeah, just kind of draw a line through that last race. Horror trip, pretty much, for the opening quarter of a mile. Comes back to this track. She's got some wins. She's going to be tactical against this group. She is, in my opinion, the horse to beat in race number 5.
Agreed, but you're hoping Dwelling Legacy can maybe speed pop them. I'm hoping for a little bit of a price, a track and pounce with the 5, Feeling So Lucky. 4, 7, 8, 2 for Keith, 5, 8, 4, and 7 for me. In race 5, the first leg of our late value pick 5. Race number 6 is off the turf. It's going to be contested at 1 mile. It's a maiden special weight, And let's take out the 1, the 2, the 3, the 7, the 10, and the 13. Victor Carrasco has the mount on the number 4, Cynthia Gale. Golden Sword is your top selection in this race, and Golden Sword, I thought ran okay in the career debut. That was a pretty quick horse that beat her. She caught muddy ground, and she is bred to win early.
That's win early, and I think can stretch out. The mare and the sibling both one going long. Broke slow. Off a little angle, a willing enough finish on a track that was playing against her. I like the effort going out, a barn that's been okay. Second start, Golden Sword, I think got what you wanted this race now. Main track only entrant from Machado. I think is going to be forward, a clean break. I want to see this horse on or near the lead.
I'm just taking a guess with the 8 Dark Pool, who's making her dirt debut in her 10th lifetime start. She's done just about everything else. Turf, synthetic mile-and-a-half races, jumps.
Yeah.
Why not give the dirt a whirl? Maybe this distance is a little bit sharp for this daughter of Collected, but I think there's enough dirt pedigree against this kind of field where maybe she can come with a late kick. Again, this might be the kind of horse that's hoping the track is playing like it was yesterday.
And Arise My Love, another one here from Milan Milosevic. Got the trip last time, though. They were battling pretty good up front through some decent internals. This horse is bringing a finish, was protected last time out. Obviously, looks like the proven closer, and I think should work out a great trip with Forrest.
Cynthia Gale, I thought, ran pretty well 2 starts back at Colonial. You know, that track seemed to be a little bit speed favoring, and it just looked like there was going to be a lot of pace. And I think Victor did the right thing, letting those speed horses go early. She tried to make a wide move on the turn, and those 3 favorites were just a little bit better, and she just lost all chance last time. She was acting up before the break. She stumbled at the start, but I like the moxie. No one was catching that winner that day, but she was very, very game to get up for second, and maybe the blinkers help her sort of behave a little bit better and focus more on the task at hand.
I think this horse is going to be okay right back at the 1-turn mile. A little stumble last time as well. 4th place finisher, 53 at Delaware recently. That kind of number, I mean, you're probably mid-50 is going to win this race.
You do have Fiery Dart in there. I want to talk about this one real quick. A first-time starter for Kerry. These connections have done well. And I like the dirt workouts at Fair Hill. It looks like this filly is working quick. You look at the pedigree. It's all turf. But the fact that Kerry's keeping this horse on the dirt, I think she likes what she sees with these Fair Hill workouts on the main.
Correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm wrong a lot, Dan, but Get Stormy a little lower percentage. I would have lower first time out kind of a sire. I would have put this horse lower. I got this horse as a half to Neuschwanstein on the breeding.
That's a mouthful.
Well, that horse ran huge here for Kerry Bryant in debut going back to July of 23, a 65 going 7/8 of a mile right out of the box. So that sniff out for me makes me want to take a little closer look at Fiery Dart.
And you might want to look for some strangers in this race. It's off turf. This horse has a lot of upside, goes out for a very talented trainer, and the distance should be right. 11, 9, 4, and 5 for Keith. 8, 9, I'll go with the other Kerry. 4 and 11 in race number 6 at Laurel Park, the first leg of our 50-cent late pick 4. Race number 7's at 5.5 furlongs on the off of the turf, and we're going to take out the 1 Maya Prince, the 4 Judge Davis, the 5 Botsarak, and the 8 Batinga's Twin, which is a big scratch, and the 9 Dr. Jeff. Where would you like to start, Keith? How about Bouncer?
Okay. Yeah, Bouncer. How about this? First time in the barn last time for Jamie Ness. This is a really, really good performance. 4 wide, half shift out. Dead game. SS Sinatra did a lot of the dirty work. It just still couldn't get by. But I think second time in this barn makes him I'm going to give him a little bit of an edge.
And conversely, I'll go with SS Sinatra, who just has gotten good for Kerry Holbein. This horse returned from the turf and just ran bang-up race after bang-up race after bang-up race, including the race where he just held on over Bouncer. I still don't know how he won that photo, but he was dead game to win. And then they tried really tough competition in the Maryland Sprint last time out, a grade 3. And all in all, the fact that SS Sinatra was up close to that very quick second quarter mile of 22 and 3 and wasn't embarrassed against Booth, who's one of the better sprinters in the country. I think SS Sinatra, if he doesn't bounce or regress off that race, is going to be real tough right back.
This is going to be a horse race.
Oh, yeah, it was last time.
I hope they both come out cleanly. Bump and Run's going to be tracking. Hunter Joe, he's been okay on the dirt on a go-go back. I don't know. He might have just too much work to do.
I wonder if for Hunter Joe, if this is kind of, a prep race for a turf route. You know, he did win going 5.5 on turf off the layoff last time out. We know what we're going to get for Hunter Joe. You're going to have to back him into the starting gate without the rider. He's a little bit of a grump, but boy, he did some good work last year, including placing in the find off turf and winning, I think, one of those Maryland Million starters and doing so very, very impressively. So first start off the Maryland Million. We'll see what we get from good old Hunter Joe. 3-2-7-6 for Keith, 2-3-7-6 for me in race number 7. Let's move on to race number 8. This is a good field of 3-year-old fillies. A first level allowance with a $62,005 down to $50,000 optional claiming range. We'll take out the number 2, Princess of Omaha. Let's start things off with your top pick. Shakara Fire is as consistent as the day is long. She's shown a little bit more tactical speed in her races. Personally, I think she's at her best when she's a one-run closer, and maybe she gets a little pace in here.
I just thought last time out, and I sent a little video, I thought she was compromised by the post and the trip that she got. She was chasing wide, just spinning the wheels, or leaving a 3/8 full, no involvement whatsoever. I think she's a filly. She's run a lot. She's run 14 times already as a 3-year-old. She's shown who she is. I think her best race does win this. I just think she's better suited here against this group. Some speed to the outside. I think Yetsit get up inside and just tuck in there and wait a little bit.
Pocket trip.
Hopefully, yeah, they can carry her a little bit, and she'll give you that run the last 3/16 of a mile. You've got to time it right with her. Let's get it done today. Yetsit.
We have a video spotlight on my top pick, the 6, Tuned to the Moon, never off the board from 5 lifetime starts. Let's take a look at Tuned to the Moon's race 2 starts back at Laurel Park on April the 18th.
You know the respect I have for a horse by the name of Double Arrow. I thought this was a really strong effort from Tuned to the Moon. Right in between horses around the turn. Every right just to say, I just don't want to kind of keep going. But man, she battles all the way. Only gets beat a half when it's all said and done. Emerges here in the duel from the final 1/8 of a mile. I love the effort. Came back at Pimlico against Scarrow Fire. Ran really well again behind Great Andre, who was able to kind of dictate on the front end. She's in razor sharp form right now.
And she never stops trying. You can make the argument that the horses that wired her in her last 2 are just slightly better than she is. I think she's either going to be on the lead or sitting second in here with a big chance turning into the stretch. It just seems like she fits at this level. The Schenkel Barn sent out a couple of winners since May 24th, so recently I think it was Ginger Girl and Zero Blitz, who was a pretty good price. So I like Tuned to the Moon's tactical speed. In my memories, in many ways, is the horse to beat. This horse, I think, is the most prolific winner in the field. She's the only 3-time winner. She seems to show up each and every time, but she's been the beaten favorite now in her last 4 races. She's shown she can be had.
Interesting. They dropped her down. Now she's back on the rise. Dine and Dash. We showed you that video just a few moments ago. In my memories, positional speed from the outside. How will she get involved? How will this race develop? Margarita Days off the claim for Nets, I think, is a horse that wants to be forward. Tuned to the Moon in my memories. These 3, I'm hoping they do get out a little bit around the turn to set it up for my top selection. But in my memories, I have a confident move here, moving back up plays. Yeah.
Well, the outside post gives Boca a lot of options. If In My Memories catches a flyer out of there, there's a chance she could go right to the front, but I think she'll be just as comfortable tracking 3 wide. Again, she'll be right there when they turn for home. She's likely going to take some money again, and why not? A 3-time winner with very competitive buyer speed figures and high percentage connections. 1-6-8-3 for Keith, 6-8-1 and 7 for me in race number 8. We're going to close it out at a 1-turn mile. Off the turf, take out the 1, the 2, the 4, the 8, the 11. Gene Briseno is going to be on the 3. Jams Paper Moon. Let's start with Brand New Dance.
Okay.
We have a trainer stat for Niall Seville. This barn's been on a roll lately. And Brand New Dance, 3rd out maidens, 3 for the last 15, 264 ROI. Brand New Dance has raced twice on turf. I think you can make some excuses for both of those races, and again, might have just caught the right field.
I agree here. Steady 1/4 and 1/8 first time out, caught wide next time out. The bottom is built up there, and what I like, topside 1,000 words, a little bit better with his dirt runners than the turf. We're going to take a shot here, the offspring of that stallion. I think clearly better main track. Yeah, I like the stat you threw up there for me. Give me a little bit more confidence. I don't have a whole lot in this race that I can kind of get really worked up about, but Brand New Dance, I thought that that debut was sneaky good. I think it's going to work here on the main track.
She showed enough positional speed in that debut to tuck into the pocket, and then she was in very tight on the far turn, and then steadied and in behind horses when she was likely beaten. And last time out, again, I think she came back really quick off only a week layoff and then pushed a solid pace. I thought she was essential on turf today. I wanted to bet her at a big price on the grass. Now on the dirt that I'm off her, she is a lock for you in the finale. Player in the Charm City pick 5. Empire's Treat, though. I think this horse is solid. Maybe doesn't have the upside as your horse because she's already run 13 times, and we still have to find out if she wants to run on dirt. But the one time she did run on the dirt, she kind of pushed a pace and a track that we have as closer-friendly in a race that was won by a deep closer. So I think Empire's Treat's going to at least be in the thick of things and give me something to root for when they turn into the long stretch.
That was a brutal trip for her, Dan, right? Bobbled as well out of the gate, bumped around, got involved in that flow. It was contested a long time. La Chica for Tequila really benefited from that, but she came back to run okay after that as well.
I think Skitley, that's an interesting pace player in here, and the debut on dirt, it took her a while to get going. She was wired that day by a horse that was in very sharp form in a key race. They tried turf stretching her out last time out. She got wired that day, but I think she was a little bit uncomfortable in between horses on the second turn. I think in this race she can get forward position. Matilda Burnham is very good with speed horses, and I think she's going to have Skitley Dat up and on, or at least close to the pace.
Yeah, there's no real proven true speed in here. When you break it down, I can see that happen. And the debut on the dirt was okay. The old Greenlee late closing about 6 or 7 lengths. Take another look.
Map to the Moon's a horse maybe you could use underneath. This horse has shown some hints of ability and has shown some inconsistency. Map to the Moon going turf to dirt here maybe can wake up just a little bit. I think he's okay on dirt. And again, she should have found the right spot. But I like where you're going with the trainer stat, 10, 7, 9, and 3. I'm going 7, 10, 5, and 9 in race number 9, the finale for the week at Laurel Park. Best play time, where are you going?
I should ask my man over here, the most handsomest, whatever, if that's a word, paddock blacksmith you could ever find.
All right.
I'm telling you, he's just such a beautiful individual, my man. BK is in the house. I go Shakira Fire, race 8, number 1. I think she's going to bounce back. Had a really tough trip over at Pimlico. Never got comfortable on that racetrack. Inside, get a little cover around the turn. I think she brings a finish.
We split in our bets yesterday, I think.
Right.
And I think we've split overall because I did get a pace horse on you. Right? So I was going to be on the lead at the pace call. So it's for all the marbles today.
All right.
Tune to the Moon against Shakira Fire. Race number 8, which means Farrier can't lose on the outside.
We caught the exacta, though.
We certainly did last 2 times.
Yeah, we've done that. So that might be the way to play the race.
Yeah, Tune to the Moon. I think
right.
Ty is going to have her close to the pace. This horse just seems to fire each and every time. 27 minutes to post for our Sunday card at Laurel Park. The main track is fast. We are off the turf. Callie Francois, Mackenzie Pfeiffer, and Dave Rodman will take you through the afternoon's action. Let's go up to the voice of Maryland Racing, Dave Rodman, for scratches and changes.
All right, good luck.